Welcome to Onivia Highlights. These are the best highlights from the LEC Spring 2025.
All in his air, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, as Cap flashes away. I think I broke the screen for you. In the meantime, Cap flashes over the wall. He escapes for now. Skewmon tries to help out. It's a phone to the face as Lebrov is still going to get rooted up. Great little grasp and a first blood to boot for Team Heretics. Skewmon is going to be done with this pretty soon. The beauty of Mundo as well is that blunt force trauma makes it so easy as grubs go down. Dragon a little bit delayed. Health bars are decaying, but Dragon will have
no fight now. I've known you for several years. I should know better.
Okay. From Carlson. Hextech ultimatum. Broken Blade's in a lot of trouble. He's about to go into the Mega Nard though, and he wants to find Carlson with his own flash up and available. Broken Blade thinks, how do I pull it off? Especially with Skewmon with an infected Bonesaw sets it up. The wild growth is out, and Rather sets up for infected chains. That from Sheo, and another kill going over to Team Heretics. Hookshot, walkshot yet again slows down his Skewmon. He has to pull out the maximum dosage, but how much can he drink? Onto Carlson, the ignites down, and wait for the cleaver, wait for the auto, wait for the agony that's going to start burning Skewmon back into place, and a kill for him too as G2.
How heavily Heretics want to try and commit to this, but they need to move Flakka down if they want to. Also, Camilo a long way from home and trying to be able to help out, so I think they're in a bit of a detached spot. Lebrov on the flank.
Yeah, because Dagda, the Bonesaws really hurt. Sten might have to pull the ulti off, and waiting for him is Lebrov. Stands up with a shattering strike. Broken Blade zoning off, and Sten is just dead. Free heart steal and a free kill. And the side lanes you mentioned are so far ahead. Well, this one, really only. 700 gold the lead as Lebrov might find himself Camilo. Under turret, Magnustorm pulls him back, and he's waiting for the crash down. Here's Skewmon yet again. I was going to say Broken Blade. That was the last time we saw the Mundo outside of their splitters. Skewmon, 3 kills. And this is what the fear we had, Dagda. Early game needed to go well for Team Heretics. Otherwise, G2, holy Mundo.
Yeah, Lebrov and Skewmon are playing really well together. They are linked up. They're constantly playing, well, it's top side, now it's mid, it was around Void Grubs, and now it's the Dragon for G2 as well. This has been a wonderful start from the 2 new members of G2, setting up the veterans for success.
And with Dragon taking
down,
down.
I think it's going to fall before they can really get into position here. They're even, they're resetting with Skewmons. You got Demolish. It's kind of Heretics late to the party.
Yeah.
And now, honestly, I think he's just off of G2 existing. Oh,
nice flash response, yeah, because he was on a wall, but Hans Summer turns it in his favor. Unbreakable will with Skewmon right behind him, and again, fresh meat. Hans Summer will take it gleefully as Camilo tries to poke back, but G2 again with a pick onto Sten. Means they're just opening up more.
Oh, it's a disaster. Like, even look at bot side. Oh, actually, never mind.
Oh, it happens to be Lebrov's time to shine again. Cap just rolls in thanks to the Magnustorm, and Sheo in trouble. Another hard steel stack. Jungle dip is what you just benefiting off the whole team's success. This turret, as he tries to deny the cannon minion and most of the wave, is going to be yet another turret for G2. 2-0 on that.
And this is the second wave that's gone into that tower. It's the second tower that's going to fall. And now you're taking...
And there's a certain Swedish top lane who made that so important, as this guy who's suffering on CS is now getting solo killed by Broken Blade. Camilo doesn't have a turret sitting there as well, and he has to run for his life. But there is another Yordle who's very, very hungry indeed. Easy solo kill for Broken Blade.
So you can even see where Heretics are on the map. They're like, where is the rest of G2 going to focus? Because they could look for some sort of play on dive on bot lane. So Carlson had to walk away. Even saw Sheo trying to help out in defending bot tier 2. But because they've lost control of jungle, maybe they...
Well, it feels like a flash in the pan for Team Heretics is what we're going to ask for. At the very least, everyone buckle up. Why? Because Lebrov's going in, and understand it won't be too hard to see what else he can do. Shattering strike up to CC, and the power of Rel once again compels you. Clean from Cap, almost getting out, almost. No, he's shut down. It's a 1-for-1, which is good for Heretics.
Give a bit more gold over to your squad. It won't really, I feel like, shut down G2 too much, though, because... Oh, actually, maybe Broken Blade goes mini, but there's nobody here to help him.
Oi, minion wave gone. Hookshot, wall shot, Hextech ultimatum. Broken Blade could be in a lot of trouble. This is Carl's moment. He found a pick onto Broken Blade, the flash match, but he's out of range. We'll get the shutdown, but Skewmon's here. This is a different problem. A much more different problem. Ends up being a trade.
Stop it, Deja Vu.
Yeah. But you've got to get the beat. The Euro beat is what it's all about. Now, Atacam was going down in that time. So GA's for everybody. That's nice.
Yeah, as if the game wasn't tough enough already for Heretics. And now G2 starting to push in on that top side. Vision is already relatively good for them. Sten's trying to see what he can do.
Well, he's going to try, but that guy that's on the telephone, hello, it's the debt collector. And Sten just getting launched up, hard steel stack, and no, he's actually a car insurance salesman. Would you like to buy this $5,000 policy? Well, Skewmont, he can sell anything. He can sell a rat to a fish right now as 2 items. He's unkillable. He's going to get passive healing uppiness, also known as health regen, as Caps. Just in a side lane, doing the same thing but by himself.
Yeah, Skewmont bought this Mundo at the dip, and he's been looking fantastic ever since. Oh, hang on, the brawl. No, he's going to end up backing away. But yeah, and now Caps on the side lane. Might have to outplay.
Okay, well, I mean, Carl is the one member who's kind of strong, gets the GA out. Fleet footwork mixed with the passive and just the natural healing he has is crazy. A Broken Blade sits, hits a turret, enjoys that. Now we're back up to 7,500.
Yeah, and Caps just threatening the entire time. Dragon's still there. G2 going to fall back towards us. They have some vision to spot out exactly how Heretics want to try and answer this, but I don't think Heretics really can. Brock could flash engage on this. Heretics need to be careful.
It's like it takes a huge amount of damage from Han Summer. Not really a silent achiever, but all the same. 2-item lethality 80 carry. Kind of in the name right now, lacking and developing their new self. Team Heretics need Sheo for the setup. You talked about that. Let's see how they find it with Baron now up, holding River themselves. They get the engaged. At least it's Stand who starts it off, but he's going to be hail of arrows, and he gets set up with an arrow into the face. He's dead. Han Summer cares not about Unbreakable Will as Caps holds the rest at the forefront. Broken Blade with no Mega Nah, but no mega problems for G2. 4 versus 5. Baron looking good.
I think Heretics needed to wait for G2 to start Baron and take the damage, but now they're just in a position where I don't really know if they can recontest. 10 seconds until Stend really gets up, but you can see what I mean. This Baron does not go down quickly, so maybe Poke is the name of the game.
Well, if Skewmont's behind Baron, he has an MR debuff. So that's good here for Sheo if he finds an angle. But at 5k, G2 looking for the turn, even though they're low. There is a bit of healing coming through from the Ocean Dragons. Carlson's found out. He wanted his flank, but he ain't going to get it. Pops the ulti, but Hans lives on.
Baron has reset.
And you also increase base health is 25%.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah, he's a big old boy. And the fact you got Unending Despair as well means he's going to be healing off the healing. And
Caps with his shuriken flip. Flash away, Carlson. Wait, Carlson! I want to see it on the big movie screen, Mum! He found him! Carlson gets a replay because zone off, and of course he has natural health regen, so don't be fooled by that half HP. True Shot Rush doesn't hit a thing either as Sten's caught out. Broken Blade about to go on Mega Nah. Sten has to disengage, but LeBron, his angle is finding anyone who tries to run. Flash from Sten just won't cut it. He gets ranged out, and LeBron takes the credit. Now for G2 as they run up mid, a dive is no problem either. Broken Blade returns to the fame of the G2 legend as Carl, he'll get the Dragon to stop the stacking, but it costs the 2 lives and probably the Baron.
Heretics flew too close to the sun, and G2 pounds. They just wait, and now they turn over towards the Baron. Everyone on Heretics on the bottom side of the map, they want kind of nothing to do with this, and G2 will get the big purple worm.
Well, Baron in the end as well. Gold has slimmed out. I have to be genuine with Team Heretics. No word to describe that better than that noise. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present Carl Carlson. Forever our best mic check we've had in the LEC. I just don't know. Just wasn't expecting it. I don't know what to say.
The moment is immortalized if you have killed the GOAT of LEC for the first time in a solo outplay, and that is not going to be connected forever.
Well,
what a legend.
You know what? Even if you don't win this game, you've got that. It's an 8k gold lead in G2. They've got the Baron, no Ocean Souls. Probably nice for Team Heretics to go up against, but the range of the poke, it hurts too much. Caps looking for an angle, and Carl looking to negate exactly that. Over from Broken Blade, who's gone into Mega Nah as well. The turret now dead, and Inhibitor turret. Now that that's opened up, Inhibitor's a freebie. Another one goes. There you go. Makes it that easy, doesn't it?
Yeah, they just got to continue this. There's very little that Heretics can really do. You do have a 3-item Camille that at least could potentially one-shot Han Sama, and I think that might be what they're trying to set up here, but I just don't think he covered the rest of the fight after.
God, slow and steady does it, doesn't it? The range is so abusive, and Caps, he just comes in off an angle, threatening to go all in and send it down. One Nexus turret dropping down, one sits up only barely above ground. Team Heretics, it was a noble recovery, or whatever you want to call it, a noble stance, but G2 are oppressive. Golden goes Sheo, as Sten is the middle of it all, but Carlson ulti's backline. LeBron won't let him get near the Han Summer. Broken Blade once again sets up a 3-man ulti, keeps him at bay. And G2 in 33 minutes make game one an easy day.
G2 may have won the battle, but Carlson won the war. Need to get the ball rolling early, or else G2 just have a very steady, long-range poke composition that, or at least poke aspects in the composition that they can look to play through.
Rob might die in the process as well. Ghostwater Dive sets up a Phantom Undertow, but there is no Toad left standing, and Stend has no target, but might have to run for his life, but he can't because his fight is down. It's a great root caller. Skumon though, the hook on the dying breath, double buff, so I'm sure if he goes back in, he'll die. Meanwhile, we're fighting elsewhere. Let's look towards the bottom lane. Sheo has got again a painter's mark on his head. Suppressed luckily, but LeBron goes popping the weasel. The Chaos Storm is out. Not enough damage, but Bone Skewer to help out. That's great for Team Heretics. One on the board. The pop on out as Broken Blade's got a full fury bar. That Rain of Anger won't hold itself, and Daisy now interrupts. Let's play a game of Candy Crush as Carlson set up against the wall. In reverse, it'll happen down bot side, but the ulti sends out. Skumon under turret, flushes away. In the end, though, Broken Blade will find the kill. Bullet time, though, is unleashed. Under turret, the stun under from LeBron. Makes it a better trade for G2. Caught me off guard.
Yeah, the fact that you get that lockup from Sheo into the combo from Black, only thing is, you may get dove now as Broken Blade as his wave starts to come in, so you can see him backing right the hell up. But there's a lot of people here, and I think he might be in a bit of trouble. Even Sten looking to cut off any sort of real retreat.
Well, there's good damage from the B team Misfortune as well. Sten might get more than that, maybe a pick, a Bone Skewer in, and he's looking for that execute with Halo Blades. Eclipse gets in the way for now, but Sten still holds on to that death from below as Dominus pops out. Broken Blade's going to 1v3 onto Sten. He gets away, he pops the ulti. It still comes through, so there's a reset handy, but Broken Blade
and also now, you're giving that kill across.
Camilo, though, speaking of No Man's Land, he might be caught out. Spiraling Despair is going to AoE to Paradise. Impale used, but Camilo not there to lend a helping hand. Shut down over to Caps, and he needed that.
Yeah, nice turnaround by G2 to get another kill off the back.
That's some Ambassador damage. The only difference is Broken Blade can shred through the Eclipse, and now that Shield Bash is down for a little bit. We'll see Carlson pull back. Never mind, he's got Sheo with him, so he's going to go on him. But Skumon's there, interrupts, and that Ruthless Predator needed. But again, Sheo's in the way. A nice little heart seal will come through from Sheo, but Broken Blade just looks for the original target. Sheo's in the way again, but to their success, you don't mess with the Candy Crush King for a double setup, and Camilo just a bystanding failure.
And Camilo's going to lose that wave in mid because he moved down to try and help. It is Ivern doing Ivern special things in that bot lane and catching out everyone as the Croc jumps out of the brush. And now Caps topside.
It's Solar Flare. It's an Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Sten can't move. Easy
got some value on the roam. Camilo looking for the bot tower. Broken Blade has nothing left in the tank. He might be able to just barely get this. Yeah, should do.
Wait for Gravity Field to go down though. There might be an E through mid. Well, 3 members of Team Heretic commit. Did you say? I mean, Dragon. Sorry, Herald is going to go down for it, but solo turret plate gold. What am I talking about? Solo turret. The Broken Blade in the end is Stand. Hello, he wants a piece, and now with the setup of Engage, LeBron wants another one on the way back. Skumon sets up, Root Caller's good, Daisy comes out as well, Impale, you'd say fantastic, but Sheo just can't move. Range from Hansama, crucial here. The zone control ends up, but another Root Caller, and Sheo will drop to the ground. How easy does Skumon make it look?
Great turnaround by G2. The fact that, as you said, Asterix, there was no real lockdown as G2 were running away, meant they got to clear out the majority of the wave. Broken Blade gets that tier 1 bot lane and now TP to mid lane to maybe look for a bit more.
Oh, they know he's there. I mean, Camilo's just engaged on Solar Flare. He won't have a chance. They thought G2 backed away. Heretics, you are under false assumptions.
Oh, it's a disaster. What was such a close game with that. They don't want to, like, they have given up top tier. I thought we'd just see G2 kind of push mid and then lean back over towards the Dragon, but maybe a little nervous about Caps being vulnerable on a tier 2 play from Heretics. So it looks like G2 just going to try and control where Heretics can move on river.
Caps has just accepted that top wave, and he's going to take a safe path. So, speaking of vulnerability, Caps making sure he's not caught out in rotation. Camilo walks up the top wave to receive. That handshaker wave's always important to know where the pressure is adding up for G2 as they start this Dragon. And for now, the inner turret might be a threat to Team Heretics.
And they're moving multiple members now in to defend that play, but I think it should fall with this one.
should indeed. I mean, misfortune damage big, but under turret, Sten starts off the engage, getting solar flared. Impale's only a one-man, but again, it's all onto LeBron. Broken Blade comes in with a flank, and it looks like a horrendous fight for Team Heretics. While the turret may go down, all members are starting to drop like flies as well. Sheo, Camilo, first off the list. Sten gets low, has to retreat, and G2 taking the fight over the objective as the hook comes in, but Sten can't stick around. Blackett just gets autoed, and with an Ivan, how easy is it? Sticking around might not be the right call, as Sten even finding a hook here. You never know what's going to come next. Turret in response for G2.
The response from G2 was perfect. Basically, the pressure was on Heretics because they're just hemorrhaging gold in that bot lane with Caps having that freeze in place. So they needed to, like, Crocodile Dundee I grew up with, and he wore one of them. So now I just associate it with Aussie man.
That's right.
Yeah.
Whenever I see a knife, that's not a knife. That's in my head constantly as Daisy comes out. And at 8K, let's fight. Broken Blade and Carlson are going to deal with each other while this makes a 4v4 head-on collision. Bone Skewer comes out, finds Skewmon, but a Root Caller sets up the arrow in backline as onto the Dragons, a new target for G2. Sheo gets unending despaired, or rather spiraling, and Dragon goes down. Okay, Lebrov gets Bone Skewered in, he gets a stun, he gets everything off, and maybe that would be okay. It's a bullet time, it's the response. Hunt Summer tries to step forward onto Blackett, but it's dangerous territory. Root Caller's great as well. Sheo just Tokyo drifted to death. Bro fell off the building as G2. Stacks ensure that's to grow as Broken Blade versus Carlson. Let's have a look. Dominus going to be used. Blackett is down here though, so the perfect execution is nice, but Broken Blade has the Sterix gauge and wait for the Q. He flushes, takes it. Blackett gets arrowed. Hard Summer from downtown, and Broken Blade is sitting on him. That's the League of Legends teabag if I've ever seen one, while a double kill drops to the ground, and G2. It's just so good when you're that good.
You can take a big old sip of that one. That was beautiful from G2. And now immediately moving over towards the Baron. Broken Blade's going to reset because he's got a plethora of wards that he can TP to, and I don't think Heretics are ready for it.
Lebrov's going to zone off. Sten walks in, and it's all he can do. Lebrov just walks away and beats a nuisance while Camilo sets up and sets a gravity field. Broken Blade is now TP'd in, ready to zone away. Baron, down it goes. Sheo has to run.
MF.
Nailed him.
I want more for that. Give me more. I want to hear the nice. Because there's no way that wasn't Scream. That was an insane arrow.
Maybe we just Broken Blade's perspective wasn't safe for the...
Yeah, maybe it wasn't. Okay, Broken Blade, I mean, he's going to jump in under turret, and Team Heretics, you look at this, like how many times you get the bullet time, there's one, but it's not going to do too much. Chaostorm comes through it again, Sterix Gauge in the way while Carlson teleported into the middle of all. He gets spiraling, despaired, and G2 6,000 gold up. I mean, both games now, while
the door they've tried to walk through has turned out to be the fake one in Tageshi's castle.
When do we finally get the real door? I mean, for Team Heretics, it's been a battle well fought, but where do you get the key from? 10K for the Dragon. G2 have started this off. This is their soul. Sheo needs a steal, but Team Heretics need a plan. 4K, 3K, Daisy out. Root Caller again. Lebrov in the way. Soul, even though it was a late smarter, at least it looked janky. It doesn't matter. Sheriff flashed in for the attempted steal, but with Infernal Soul, the chase begins. Camilo running, and that's all he can do. Skewmon running outside the outskirts of the gravity field while Lebrov keeps Team Heretics at bay. An arrow's going to fly and go nowhere, but Camilo on the spot will die right there. We put a marker down, and G2 continue their onslaught.
And they're going to continue marching this wave down the bottom side.
I mean, with Infernal Soul, it's rough. Artican's going to be started and probably taken by G2 at this point. Sten tries to get near, he'll get spotted out, and everyone's launching on him. Flashes away while Carlson now in the midst of it as well. Arrow flies out, Camilo's now caught out, and he doesn't have Merc Tread, so with a Solar Flare on top, he's just dead. Now Chaostorm just going to tickle G2 while that thought of tickling Artican comes up next.
The most threatening tickling of all time.
Yeah, it's like tickling a Dementor. Like,
I don't think that's a good call.
Who's a good little weird spirit messed up thing?
the weirdest one's like Patronus of all time, just hands the tail.
The spirit comes out and like, oh, what's your Patronus? There's some little gremlin yodel. Shocker. It feels pretty obvious, but just if you didn't know, the way we're setting this up is that as that arrow flies through, there's a lot more tools that G2 can launch at, and Camilo cannot play the game. One of the problems with Victor is that he might look good walking, but when he stands still, he's through.
Looking like the end of Arcane after that one.
Yeah, I still haven't watched season 2, but I'll just say yeah.
What? It's been so long.
I'm watching solo leveling instead. But I will watch Arcane. I've also watched Severance. Banger show.
Yeah, I haven't got that.
Yeah?
Partly through season.
Also Silo. Oh, let's just keep going. Have you seen the one where G2 go and go flawless in the split? Hysterics? No, I haven't actually. It's interesting. How would they do that, Jake? Well, I can answer that for you. The Red Bull Baron power play is ready to shepherd us into another 2-0. It's going home time soon. It's been a quick night.
Yeah, 25 to 8.
Yeah.
Well, G2 want to try and finish off LeBron. That's not exactly the way you want to try and finish this out, but Stend does end up overextending to try and make that play happen. And now G2 going to continue the push through on the top side.
It's just Ivan shields just when you think they're dead as the Impale comes in. I mean, Labrov again, he'll just get a shield, he'll walk up. Redemption does a little bit of that magic as well. Camilo just gets autoed down by Han Summer. Look at the spacing from this guy. Ulti comes out from Carlson, but the whole team's dead. Bullet time might look great, but Carlson has already dropped into the dirt. 2 members left standing in G2. When people question who the best team in Europe is, you just got to come back to the old faithful, the usual. G2 starting 2-0 at the beginning of week 2. As Flacker drops as well. They're just that good. When you doubt them in winter, when they don't make it to first stand, it doesn't matter, they come back.